Hey, this is Steven from Legit Tech Tutorials and the Green Engineers. Sorry I missed recording yesterday as I got up late this morning, so I wanted to film it this morning. Didn't happen because I slept in. So basically, now I'm going to be doing the video that I was supposed to do this morning, and then probably tomorrow I'm going to be doing the video that I was supposed to be doing right now. So I'm behind by a day. I'm going to make up probably tomorrow morning and then later on tomorrow night. So I'm doing a little bit of looking through here for some different things. So again, as you know, I have the what's it called? My samples coming here pretty soon. So I'm trying to think of a way. And I kind of lost, like I said, the shop closed, so I lost a lot of my CNC machines or even my manual machines. So I do not have a lathe at the moment. And the idea originally was to shredder. My idea, this is a 65% drive shaft, so don't take it too personally. Anyways, was to basically put a big hole here and then put a big bolt, and then use the hex head of the bolt to basically to do it that way. But I didn't want to strip the threads because it's trying to pull it in instead of just hold it on there. So that's number one. So unless I did like some sort of tool steel something where it twists, I could do that. Another thing is I wanted to do the maybe a wrench. So originally the idea was to have a socket breaker bar, right? So a half-inch breaker bar. This is regular Harbor Freight, $14 for a half-inch breaker bar. It's a little bit over 2 feet long. You put down a lot of force, and this is probably the most that you're going to need that this shredder with the A36, the standard A36, that would survive. So this is basically what I would suggest. But the issue now is that I can't really put a bolt because I don't have a lathe, so I can't put it right in the center, and I don't want it to strip when you're cranking down on it anyways. So now I have a predicament where I'm looking for, this is a half-inch socket. I was looking for like a half-inch to 3/4 double square, they call it. So, or even if it's going to round, if I use a regular socket, because again, I'm missing 2 extra points of contact because it's not a hex, it's a 2-point. So, and the reason why, and a lot of people are going to ask me, why I chose to go with a square. Well, the number one reason, which I saw on this water jet, was that if there is an issue, I only have to clean it. So if there's an issue and I have to file it, I only have to file 4 sides instead of 6 sides, right? 6 sides or more, right? So that's the idea. So, for example, on my first prototype, which I have right here, I had an issue with the water jet. The tolerances were kind of off. So basically what happens is I had to take it, put it in a vise, and I had to file down some of the input squares. Now, and some of them were on the center spacers, and the other ones were on the squares themselves. So now when I file on the square, basically I have to do like 2 sides or whatever. Now if it was a hex and it didn't fit, I would have to file on multiple sides. So if, let's say, I had to fix all of them, instead of fixing 4, I have to fix 6, right? Instead of filing it on all 4 to open it up, I have to file on 6. And then, of course, on 6, it's harder to keep the center of the dial. So basically, how to file them all evenly. So generally that's how I do it, is I file each side evenly. I spend an even amount of time on each side, even amount of time and even amount of pressure and even amount of coverage on each side to make sure that all sides are balanced. Right? Now on a hex you have to do 6 sides instead of 4 sides. It makes it a little bit more difficult to do. So that's why I decided 4. But obviously 6 sides has the opportunity of making it so that it is, what's the word I'm looking for? That it is stronger, so it doesn't strip as easily. So that is one thing that it does have. So that's good. But other than that, basically it needs to... the thing that the hex does have is that it has the ability to have an easy socket go on it. So there's that. So what I'm thinking of doing is I might talk to maybe like a machine shop and maybe make some of these guys, some of these sockets, some heavy duty sockets where, it's basically the same size, but it has these big corners on the inside, and then because these I could easily drop inside the package, and it comes with it, and then it goes from a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 or 2 3/4 or whatever. Sorry, my cat's freaking me out because I have the door closed. I don't know if she needs to go to the bathroom or not, so we'll see. So preferably the nice thing would be if I find some sort of double square where one side's 1/2 inch, the other side's 3/4. So we'll see if that works. Come here, Tinkus. Okay. The other thing is to use some sort of so they have another one where it's a giant crescent wrench, Harbor Freight. It's a 24-inch adjustable jumbo wrench, and it has more uses than just one. Same thing with the Breaker Bar. Breaker Bar has a lot of uses, but this is $30 for a 24-inch, 2-foot jumbo wrench. This is probably what I'm gonna run at the beginning. The other idea is to run a 3/4 inch open-ended wrench. Extra long. So extra long. So here's for some examples of extra long. So here, 3/4 inch. People are saying that it's not actually that long. That it's like 8 inches. So this kind of shows that it's actually super long when in actuality it's not. Here it's saying it's 14 inches. So, I mean, that's pretty close. And there, those reviews, they could also be from some of these other ones. So 14 inches for a standard hard, for a nice wrench, that would also probably work. And they're $17. So not really that bad. So that's another option. And then it also has a closed end. That's another idea. I mean, 14 inches is a little shorter. The other one is 10 inches shorter, so quite a bit shorter. You can't develop as much force, but I think... And then this would fit in the box. If I have it go across the top, it'll fit in the box. Here's like less than $10. And then this is... Yeah, so this is about 11 inches long. So it needs to be longer than that, I think, to develop the right amount of force. 11 inches. I mean, it is a long wrench. That is an extra long wrench for that size. I mean, a regular wrench would probably be like 8 inches for a 3/4 inch wrench. So, but I think you need to have longer in order to utilize the whole entire thing. So I think the 24-inch breaker bar that, yeah, 24 inches, I think that's probably the max. You'll probably be able to probably pull the shredder apart with that if you locked it up good enough and put a big enough piece of plastic in there. So, but it's still like $8 for this, so it's a pretty good deal. So we'll see what I could do, either that or the 24-inch adjustable jumbo wrench. This is another good one. It's got the longer of these pieces on it, because basically if you use a socket, the socket's only going to grab the corners. It's not going to grab it's not really going to grab the flats. Well, I mean, it'll grab two of the flats, but it won't grab the other two flats, right? So basically this one's going to grab two flats. It's going to grab two flats also. So maybe there's not that much difference between a standard 3/4 and this guy. We'll see. And the other thing is the 3/4 wrench, is the 3/4 socket actually 3/4 on the inside? This is millimeters. Anyways, so let's go ahead and move forward. So let's look at the hopper. So that's just a little update of some of the things I'm thinking about, because this is coming up very, very soon. So we need to figure that kind of stuff out. Alright, so let's open these up. So if you remember, basically in the sheet metal deal here, we have these overlapping each other, which is a no-no. So we need to move them both, these flanges here, not that one, but this one. So I think that's pushing it back. So that's at the start. We want it at the end, but the end we can't move it forward enough. Okay, so basically what it looks like is we're gonna have to cut even more of this off. You cut a whole bunch of this off, it doesn't matter. And let's go ahead and mirror. And let's just cut that section off. It's not a big deal. Okay. Okay, so let's look at something. What if I move this before? Any issue? Start. Oh, sorry, end. There we go. I see. Okay. So that's the issue. All right, Tiger, you're getting too hot. Okay. End. There we go. Yeah, what's the problem here? So yeah, it is touching. So we need to move it forward even further. So we don't have any folds, strange folds. That should probably do it. There we go. That's better. Cool. And then there's a weird thing here. So you can see that, oh, let's see. So basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in here and then let's just do this. But now here's the other question. Is this going to basically open this up? Let me let my cat out here. Alright, I have to talk softly because my brother's in the other room with my niece sleeping. So we have to talk quieter than before. Okay, so we're going to take this out. I'm going to go over here and take this out. That's better. Okay. Okay, so that looks good. And this should have this shouldn't have the same problem. And oh yeah, it does. So let's do this. I mean, this really doesn't matter at all. This could be big. Oops. That was really strange. We see here, we're looking good here. It's just this one needs to bump up the angle a little bit. So let's say like 48, maybe, by 48. Let's save it. Okay. Just 49. But you see it's intersecting here. Still, strangest thing. Oh, like I said, it's because this thing is knocking it off. I mean, do we really? We don't need that piece. In actuality, we don't need this piece. What is this? This. We don't need that. We don't need that. Okay, so now that's what's knocking it off, is that offset there. It's knocking the angle off because it's not the 6x6. So this should be all 6x6. Here to 6.5. Ooh, okay, so 6.5 by 6. So it's gonna knock it off a little bit, but not that much. Okay, so now it needs to, yeah, so now it needs to basically come forward even earlier. But yeah, this makes it way easier now that we don't have that piece. It makes it way easier to assemble. But pretty much the only thing holding this thing on are these bolts, right? Because there's nothing here holding this thing on. Unless I have it go down here and then I put some bolts in here, but then the bolts obviously can't go all the way through. And if you look, our holes are not lining up. Oh, because they're basically overlapping each other. Okay, so basically this one needs to start earlier. The forward one needs to be the start, or needs to start even earlier, it looks like. So yeah, basically they can't be the same because one is ½ inch bigger on one side. So let's see, how are we going to deal with that? Basically increase the angle, most likely. Yeah, so it needs to increase the pitch back pretty much, because this, and you can see we have tiny little holes here, right? This not so much, but the other one. Oops. Let's hide this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Oops. Let's look at this. So yeah, 6.5 by 6. So maybe let's tilt that guy back a little bit more. So let's go in here and take a look. Let's go in here. Let's tilt this guy back a little bit more, but I don't think it's going to let me actually tilt it. Is it doing it or is it not doing it? It's not doing it. Why do you not want to do it? Oh, there we go. Oops. Yeah, I think it's just too tight. So let's do more of a bend angle. So let's say let's get rid of that. It doesn't need to be there. Oh, this is gonna be minus less. So let's see what it was. So let's say that this is 3 and end or start. I mean, this doesn't really matter. This is just going to go there. But it's going to help us see that angle. So let's see now. Okay. But you can see it's because that panel's too long. So either this has got to change. Yeah, so basically let's make these ones shorter. Because this is actually 6 inches. Right? So this is actually 6 inches. Oh. Oh, this one's 6.5, the other one's 6 inches. Okay, so let's make this one 6.5. Oops. That's fine. Okay, so let's make that one 6.5. This one's gonna be 6. There we go. Oops. And then we have an issue over here. That one comes over about here or something. And then let's do flange here. Cut that piece off. There we go. Similar. It's close but not exact. And then let's change this back. Oops. So what was this one? This one, this one, this one. Bingo. Okay. So basically, I like that. So now what I needed to do is I needed to be kind of in the middle area. It looks like they're slightly out of alignment. I'm thinking it's because how I set it to fold. If I set this one to fold the same way, this one, if I say end, I think, or start, any of them? Well, I mean, it's pretty freaking close. But what I'm thinking is that now these guys, if I put them in the center, and this one in the center, it should tighten and then be perfect. This center, and this one center. Should tighten that gap. There we go. They are pretty much right on now. So they're super close. Maybe even touching slightly at the bottom. But that's okay. So pretty much, I mean, this stuff's probably going to be, you know, stainless. I mean, steel, Galvy steel or something. So pretty much this, you know, you just kind of flex it in and then you just bolt it together. And then hold it, and then I was thinking putting some wind lace here so you don't cut yourself open on this edge, but it's probably not going to be that tight. And then maybe we'll do something where we drill a hole here and then drill a hole here or something on the actual machine. We will see, and then put this thing here, but I think that this is fine to have these bolts here. It should be okay. We'll see. Alright, so I think we are good here with the hopper. I like it. It looks good. So save that. It looks beautiful. Big hopper on top. Fits in the flat rate box. Easy to ship. I mean, this is going to be lightweight. So if we look at this guy, it's basically this guy times 4. Properties. It's 58 ounces. I don't think I'm going to make it this thick of sheet metal. 12 pounds. But I think that that's thick sheet metal. What was the flange rules on this? Oh, there's a 1/10. Yeah. I'm thinking more 60 thou, something like that. 60 thou sheet metal. I think that would be better, and it'll drop the weight quite a bit, almost in half. So it's going to be like 6 pounds, and the bolts will hold it together, and it'll be easier to kind of move it around to get it to line up and then bolt it together. And then this will be easier to move around, line it up, and bolt it together. And we'll work on it further probably eventually to get it to this guy to be perfect. But right now, I mean, it's basically within our tolerance level here that it should be able to be bolted together if it was thinner material. But yeah, I mean, you can see because it doesn't line up here perfectly. Oh, because it starts further down on that one than on the front. Why does it do that? Oh, because it's like it's sucking it up. Yeah, basically it's this thing here. And also it's where this starts, where the bend starts, is why that doesn't line up perfectly. But that's okay. So we'll look into that further, but right now I would say that this is done. And then I might talk to some people about how to fold this or get my own finger brake. I'm sure I could just get my own finger brake and bend this. 16 gauge steel is usually the max that you could run. Either that or aluminum. We will see. Anyways, so this has been Steven from Legit Tech Tutorials and the Green Engineers. I thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for my next video. Next week. Oh, and another thing I have to do right now, I have to buy some 6006 ZZ ball bearings so I can install this weekend. So when that sample comes. So we're good on the hopper. We're going to start working on the motor tomorrow morning, and then also tomorrow night I'll catch up with the one video that I'm behind right now. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Take it easy. Peace.